Welcome to Egg Foo. What? First and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of Egg Foo. What? Young Michael, how was your week been?
It was a long 2 weeks since I've seen you. You were
You saw me Thursday.
You were suffering last week. Some sort of ailment.
Yeah, but then you saw me the next night.
Yeah. You bounced back pretty quickly.
So this 2 weeks suddenly. What is all that? What you see balloons?
Yeah.
What's that for?
You did some sort of hand movement that you were celebrating. Now, both hands. There you go.
So suddenly this 2 weeks is actually less time has passed since we normally would see each other. But
yeah, well,
I know you missed me. It's all right. You can say it.
You surprised me. I mean, when you said you couldn't do it last Wednesday, I figured, well, we'll do it Thursday. But we did have a prior commitment with Jerry, which we did a live event on YouTube. You can check out Derry X on YouTube. And we had some fun over there instead.
That was fun.
But I was surprised you didn't want to just move it off a day or two, because we've done that before.
I mean, I would have, but we had the Jerry thing already. So
yeah, okay, all right. I was concerned about your health.
Health's okay.
What was the issue? Was it cough, stomach?
There's a stomach thing. It's like the third time in the last 2 or 3 months. All of a sudden I'm just like, buh. So
yeah, I got something going today. I don't know what it is.
Oh, let's make this about you. Okay, here we go.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna push myself through this. And
you don't seem too concerned about my health.
Well, no, I was concerned last week, and when you made it clear that we were coming back in a week instead of like a couple days or something.
I guess I didn't think of it. Yeah.
Anyway,
I should have said, hey, what are we thinking before? Is that what you're getting at?
Well,
am I apologizing? I should have consulted.
Like I said, it was we've done it before where we missed a day or two, technical problems we've had in the past, and we alerted people that we would be coming on in a couple days, but this is all history.
In my head, it clicked over because we had the Jerry thing. It clicked over. I shouldn't have posted the tweet without saying, hey, does this sound right? Hey,
yeah,
mea culpa, bro.
You made the call. Actually, I appreciated it because I'm still in the midst of this deep dive with the kinks.
Hold on, let's keep. But the thing that sucks about the Jerry thing is my voice, my audio is awful on it.
Is it?
Have you listened?
I can't listen to myself, so I don't go. I look at the comments if people liked it, and then I chalk it up. Okay.
I thought we had a lot of fun. Jerry was great.
Yeah,
pulling up old bits and everything.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, my audio turns out was messed up the whole time, but oh well.
You're using the same thing today?
I'm using a different laptop, but the same setup. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the problem was.
Maybe it was that laptop.
Oh, you mean last week? No, last week I used the same as always because I was at work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
I can't figure out where the hell you are. It's a mystery to this day. I don't know where you're filming from. I see we're at a new location today.
Look how sexy I look laid back here. Look.
Yeah. I like the artwork on the walls, the big blank walls.
Yeah. Well, I just moved. So I'm getting it all together. So there's not a lot to see right now. Got to get my stuff out of storage. It's very nice. I do want to put, if you could give me a minute, Mike. I do need to put the District of Columbia on blast. I looked at a bunch of apartments. I don't know who's renting these apartments. They must be like kids of diplomats, because everyone I went to was the size of, I'm not joking, like 10 by 10 with a kitchen off, tiny kitchen and a bathroom off the side, and for like $3,000.
Yeah. No, it sounds like New York. I mean, I see these stories about New York apartments that don't even
Yeah,
have bathrooms, right? You have a shared bathroom. Yeah, you're in a tiny little space.
but at
Uh,
least then you're in New York.
uh-huh.
Here it's like, how is this in DC? So
Well,
in the end, the building I've been at was easily the best price and the best building and the best situation. So, but that's been my last couple of days scrambling around, moving and everything. So
yeah, you said you were moving down the hallway, right?
yeah,
This is
I
your
am I'm 70 steps closer to the Wegmans. So
this is the apartment. You scared the people out with your weird
yes,
note. Uh,
how crazy is that? The very apartment.
the weird note, the smiley face.
You think they're gonna come back and haunt me?
I don't know. But you got a new apartment, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
So I've had a
But it,
strange living arrangement for a couple of years. Uh, went well, and now we're back in the real world, and you know, we'll see.
well, I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you. But how sexy! I can just lay back.
Yeah, no, you're in a lounging position. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you got the throw pillows.
Is this
I got
distracting?
my throw pillows.
Too much sunshine. I do need to get real curtains or something because
Yeah,
this light is blinding.
yeah,
Yeah.
the glare is something else.
All right. All right.
Although
Well,
it's
easy does it.
keeping that side cowlick out of the frame is probably a good thing.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I,
that's where a comb would come in handy. I mean, what's going on there? You know,
I
it's like,
told you. I
is
have a
that
hairbrush.
gel? Do you use gel? Is there some sort of gel involved here?
No.
It's just naturally out of control. Okay.
What do you want me to say, Mike? I'm
No,
sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking
I've
of you.
let you down.
No, I'm always thinking of you. Maybe the ladies are watching and they're like, "What's with this guy?
Like, wow, look at that couch.
Can't he even get his hair together?"
Like, wow, look at that nice couch. They're like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. Look at
And ladies, these are two of the 940 pillows that came with the couch. So
that.
if you come visit, you will go home with a couple of pillows.
I mean, I dated a woman one time, and the throw pillows were just it
Mm,
was hard it was out of control.
yeah.
I mean, I think it becomes an addiction to get all these throw pillows. There was like hardly any room to sit on the couch after a certain point.
That should be a reality show. I'm addicted to throw pillows. I can't stop the routine. Every morning, have to restack the 90 pillows that I unstacked 12 hours earlier.
Let's just ask the hard question: how many throw pillows per couch?
You want me to count?
Well, one, two, three, and then we'll throw up the fingers.
What? You mean for real or
Just what is the most throw pillows per couch?
like in theory that you'd
I'm
recommend?
just saying, what is what tips you over the edge?
Oh, okay.
How many is too many throw pillows for a couch?
Okay, I got it.
One, two, three, five.
Two?
Yeah, two is enough.
Okay, you know what?
One for each side.
You're right. I was counting the big main pillows on the back, but those are back cushions, they're not throw
Yeah,
pillows.
that's a cushion. Yeah.
You're right. I was thinking the exact same thing. One cushion on each end.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Okay.
done.
Yeah.
You got fancy people coming over for some reason. Have a little pillow in the middle with a reindeer or something. Maybe dead
Uh-huh.
grandma made it with her socks or something.
Uh-huh.
You can pitch that as you want. I'm with you. You're right. One on each side.
No, and I like the solid colors are preferable. I've got some weird multi design on the one pillow. I've got a small one and a large one, which is not optimal. I don't
Mm-mm.
know how that ended up.
Is
I'm
that a
living.
leather couch?
Yeah, it is a leather couch. Yeah.
Can I suggest that that is so Jersey?
It's comfortable. I mean, these were my brother's furnishings, so I'm just living here now. But I like a leather couch. It's cool in the summer. You know, you don't want to be on a
Yeah.
hot cloth couch. You know, you're sweating.
I don't
And
know. I think I would pick a cloth couch.
yeah,
You're right about it.
I
It's
think it
gonna be it
stays
could be a
cooler
little
in the
cooler in the
summer.
summer,
Yeah.
but where am I at these days where the air conditioning isn't pumping? If I'm at somebody's house and they have a leather couch,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
We're not sitting out in their tool shed,
Uh-huh.
right?
True.
Everybody I know who has a leather couch is probably going to have the AC pumping. So I think I'd stick with a cloth couch.
You've got good AC in your building.
Very good AC.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, maybe it's time to finally learn to really swim. You know, there's a pool.
Oh, really?
That's
Wow.
one. It's one of these buildings. The apartment itself is nice.
Hmm.
It's nothing special. I mean, it is to me. It's easily the nicest place I've ever stayed in my life.
Uh-huh.
But it's not big, whatever. But it's all they sell you on a lot of it. They sell you on the amenities,
Yeah. The common
gyms,
areas. You got a gym.
the common areas,
You got a gym.
gym,
You got a
pool,
pool. Wow. Okay.
big a game room, pool room. There's you could book this room if you want to cook for 20 guests.
Uh-huh.
There's the barbecue pit stuff.
You're not in senior living, are you?
Oh, Mike, don't tease me, bro. Don't tease me.
I mean,
Don't tease
that's
me.
sounds like a
No,
senior living arrangement.
but so I've been here like a year and a half, and I've seen people actually using these amenities
Uh-huh.
maybe 3 times.
Uh-huh.
And I think I'm exaggerating. I can actually think of 2.
Yeah.
So you get excited about these things, and then you just never fucking use them.
Uh-huh.
So.
How about laundry?
Oh, and
Laundry's important.
that's a deal breaker. I wouldn't have gotten
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
in unit, bro.
Yeah. Okay. In unit. Okay. Well, that's even better.
What did you
But
think it was?
well, some buildings have it in like a laundry room.
Yeah, in the 80s, Mike. I've been lucky. I haven't had to take my laundry to a laundromat since college. I've
Oh,
been
good for
lucky.
you. Yeah.
At this point, that's a deal breaker. I'm not renting an apartment doesn't have.
You had a washer and dryer in that warehouse?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mike, you were there. We had everything in that place.
What was it, a slop sink that you called the washing machine?
No, insulty McInstalter, son. It was a perfectly good washer and dryer.
And what is your washer and dryer in this apartment? It's got to be one of those tiny deals. Is it in a closet?
Yeah, they're stacked up in a closet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they're not huge, but they're fine. I mean, how much laundry am I doing?
All right, that's true.
Do I have a little league football team coming through every night and I'm doing their laundry?
No.
Be funny if I did though.
That would be funny.
Maybe that's our sitcom we write.
Okay, there you go.
No washer dryer would be a deal breaker. So I don't require a lot. But anyway, it'll be interesting. I'll try to keep a count of every time I use one of these amenities. Because actually the one interesting thing they had, I remember when first started living here a year and a half ago, this crash pad room, which is a big room and had a little stage. It's like, oh, you can have band practice here. You can do this. Have a
Haven't you?
party,
I thought you
whatever.
did some recordings from there. I thought you.
And so I did a couple of
Oh, okay.
for what stuff there.
Uh-huh.
But it's not soundproof at all. Like I
Okay.
had my brother test it. He stood outside the other side of the door. I stood in the middle of the room and said, "Hey," and he just said, "Hey, back." And it doesn't lock. So you're standing there doing your thing, whatever it is, and people just walking in, so.
Is that why you moved out of there? I mean, it was a nice little background anyway.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. But so maybe I'll try to keep a track of every time I use one of these amenity places. I should use the gym, but
yeah.
I tell my nephew, you want to hear something embarrassing? Of course you do.
Is that what this show is?
I did finally mosey down to the gym, and I was like, you know what? Let's start hitting the treadmill.
Oh, yeah, right.
20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever I can do. Come on now. I said, if Mike List can do,
Look at this. I got this thing right back here.
Yeah.
I jump on that thing once in a while.
And so pop in
Sometimes a
there.
long while.
Yeah. And so I'm like, if Mike List can do it, he's an inspiration. Come on now. So I find out directions to the gym. I have to look it up. And I pop in there. It's not a huge gym. There's like maybe I think there were 2 or 3 people there spread out. I go to the treadmill. I'm standing there 5 minutes. I can't figure out how to turn the fucking thing on, how to use it. But I don't want these 3 strangers to know. So as I'm not figuring it out, I'm putting on quite a performance. Like I'm actually doing other stuff other than desperately trying to,
It's usually just like a couple buttons, I mean.
But it's one of these big
Look
ones.
for a green button. That's usually the go button.
It's like a cockpit.
No, I know what you're saying.
It's like, oh, do you want to go in the Alps? Do you want to go?
Yeah.
All
that stuff is nonsense. I agree with you there.
So then I did the old pretended, I forgot something, but back in my apartment, forgot my lifting gloves, so I skittled out of there. So I'm gonna have my nephew.
No, here's the basics. I mean, yeah, don't look for the programs for going to the Alps. Yeah, they're ridiculous. But
I just want the thing to turn on.
Yeah, most of them there's an on button, like a green button.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't find
that. Well, that's a problem then.
So I'm gonna get my nephew, your biggest fan. He can take a break from his.
Shout out to Patrick.
Shout out to Patrick from Mike. If he can take a break from writing his Mike fan letters, give me a little run through on how to work the.
Did you give him the wrong address? I haven't received them yet.
Oh, they're coming. Big sack.
Okay, sack.
Like in the beginning of A Hard Day's Night, when Ringo's mail comes, big sack. So
I'll be looking for that.
So I'm looking forward to that. So big changes.
Yeah, poor Al Pacino's taking some flack for his delivery.
I keep forgetting to see that video. Was he just acting like a lunatic?
Well, he came out, and so now there's all these different theories. He came out to deliver the Best Picture award, the biggest award of the night. And they had been showing little clips of the nominees throughout the show. But who the hell watches the entire Oscars? I mean, somebody's actually going to sit there for 3.5 hours.
Not me.
But instead of doing the traditional thing where he reads the names of the nominees, he says, and the winner is, and then opens the envelope, he just came out, casual as could be, and he said, we've seen the nominees. And then he just opened the envelope. he's like, we've seen the nominees. Only one gets to win. And then he opens the envelope, and then he's like, I see Oppenheimer, which everybody knew was going to win. I mean, that's the thing about the Oscars now. They're so predictable. It's like, why watch? I mean, you know what's going to win ahead of time. There's like 20 award shows before it, and the same people are winning the same awards.
So what are people upset about?
Well, it was so nonchalant. It was anticlimactic. I described it as
they've come out there screaming at them.
The most
You're out of order.
Anticlimactic ending of the Oscars ever.
Out of order.
But now they're trying to cover for him. I think he just had a senior moment. He's 80 plus. He's 84, I think, or something. He's up there.
And didn't he just have a kid? I mean, he's up every night.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Yeah, what's an 80-year-old man having kids for? It's bizarre. But anyway, so yeah, I think the
Oscars.
I think he had a senior moment. I don't think he had his glasses, because that was part of his line. Was I see here? People are saying he couldn't read the teleprompter, so that's why he cut to the chase. But now the Oscars are saying, "Oh, that was the way we wanted to do it. We wanted to, in the interest of time." But the thing is, earlier in the show, for the acting awards, they stretched it out. instead of just reading the names of the actors that are nominated, they had past winners come out and gush about each nominee.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just covering for poor Al Pacino.
Well,
He had a senior moment, and they're covering for him.
I mean, everything. I didn't see a second of these things, but everything I saw, everything I've seen, it sounds like they went off. Everybody loved them, said they went off well. Uh, so why can't they just say, "Hey, this was a great Oscars. At the end, we had a goofy little thing with Al Pacino. Here, gives people something to remember."
Well,
And
he got the movie right. It wasn't
yeah,
the flub like Warren Beatty got the wrong movie.
yeah, yeah. So it's everything I saw sounds like everybody was thrilled with it. Did you
Well,
watch
Martin
all of it?
Scorsese wasn't thrilled.
Oh, because he lost?
Well, his movie was nominated for 10 Oscars and he got zilch, like he always gets.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that was the one upset they said was that Emma Stone won for Best Actress, and I think Lily Gladstone had won Golden Globe, SAG Awards, and so that was a little bit of the upset that Emma Stone won that award.
Oh
But
for 10. Wow.
yeah, I don't know, and he was there. He's sitting there, losing one award after another.
Did you like
Oppen-
that movie?
It's okay. It's okay. I don't think it's his best, but
Yeah.
it's 4 hours long, which is tough. Probably a
Mhm.
lot of people didn't see the movie.
Yeah.
That's part of it. I think people didn't see the movie; they didn't vote for it.
I finally watched the holdovers uh 2 days ago. Did you like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I
I,
liked it. I liked it a lot. Then some of it bugged me. They did a good job of every time you thought, okay, we're gonna have this race or class moment,
mhm.
and then they kind of spin away from it. Uh I enjoyed it. I made a comment earlier today. Made a comment. By that I mean I posted it on my blog that nobody cares about. For some reason, tell me if you thought this. Something about the way they'd make you think one thing and then zig a little bit. Nothing crazy. I mean, in the end, it was still very Disney-ish or whatever.
Yeah.
Something about it made me feel like at the end, boy, wouldn't it be great to know everything we know and restart, like remake the movie somehow? Does that make sense? Like, I mean, it
Well,
happens a lot when you do creative work anyway, like at work. Like by the time you're done with it, you kind of wish you could go back in the beginning and start over. But for some reason, I had that feeling with this movie. Is that crazy or?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was a good movie. I didn't really have any major criticisms for it. I like movies about human beings instead of
Yeah.
aliens and all this nonsense.
And how great was, I'm not going to get her name right. She won the Oscar.
Yeah, she won. Yeah, I don't have the name right handy.
And how great is it that, she's also in Only Murders in the Building.
Hmm.
So when she's in a scene with, it's her, Martin Short, and Steve Martin, it's like one of these people has won an Oscar
Hmm.
and two have not. And who would have guessed at some point it'd be her, not them? So
Uh-huh.
she was fantastic.
Yeah,
I
the whole
really
movie
liked
was
it.
good.
It's right up my street.
Yeah.
But something bugged me in the end. I was like, gee, I wish they could go back and remake it. But plus my other nit.
Well, what bugged you? You're saying it, but
Bug,
you're
bug,
being
bugs,
vague. Be specific.
bug's a strong word. Like, and maybe what I mean is I should go back and rewatch it. Because like I said, it kept running into scenes where I was like, oh, they're gonna do this. And then they wouldn't.
Mm.
And then I'd kind of recover a little bit. So maybe I just need to go back and rewatch it without trying to like, roll my eyes that, this is going to happen, that's going to happen kind of thing.
Hmm.
I will say this. Uh, I know that kid is supposed to be like really good looking, I guess.
Yeah,
He's
I don't know.
actually,
I don't know his name either.
no,
I don't. I don't have the info handy here.
sorry, he's not good looking enough to like everywhere they went, women are just
No,
throwing
no,
themselves at him.
no. I mean, I
Come
didn't
on.
get that he was really supposed to be that. I mean, he seemed like a normal looking kid. You know, I didn't
Like
think
three
he.
different places they went to, there just happened to be some hot minx. Oh, hey,
Uh-huh.
So I was a little like, come on, you got to be a little better looking than that, But anyway, and Giamatti's always great. So
Well, the director is like one of the last directors who's still doing these kind of human stories. You know, Sideways and Nebraska was good too. He's done some good movies.
I haven't seen that. Would you say that's your favorite of his, or?
You know, that's a good one. Yeah, I may give that the nod over this one. Yeah, check that one out.
Eh.
But anyway,
I'm sorry. Did you say you did or did not watch all the Oscars?
I had it on in the background. You know, it's
Okay.
sort of like one of these things. It's like,
Mhm.
and then I'd weigh in. I was throwing some quips up on Twitter if you happen to catch them.
Throwing some quips.
I called them the Godzilla gang. I said, I guess there was a Godzilla movie that came out and it won some technical award or something, and the whole gang got up on stage. I liked it because it was like a genuine moment. You know,
Yeah.
they're trying to read this letter, and
Yeah.
their English isn't very good,
Yeah.
so that was kind of a
Great moment.
nice. Yeah, it was a nice moment. You know, they're having a great night and struggling with the the acceptance speech.
Did
But
you like Jimmy Kimmel slash? Should he just be the host from now on until he doesn't want to?
you like Jimmy Kimmel?
I like him. Again, I didn't see but I like him in general, and everybody seems happy with his
Hmm.
work. It's like the fifth time he's done it. Do you
Yeah, I
know
mean it's
your
sort of
eyes
a
are?
thank. I mean it's sort of a thankless task. I mean they're under
Oh,
the microscope, you know. But I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan. I never, got into the
really?
Man Show or any of that
Oh,
nonsense.
yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean that's where he came. That's where he made
Uh,
his bones, right? That's why he's still around.
yeah, and I don't like he's still buddies with Adam Carolla, who's a
Hmm.
shithead.
Well, if it
But
wasn't for him, I mean that was their hit. That was his
I know,
breakthrough.
I remember,
You
I
know, I
was
mean, I
there.
never watched a minute of that show. I just heard it seemed like a show for lunkheads,
Yeah,
by
even for
lunkheads.
me, who I would have been like 25 at the time, even for me, I remember being like, "Ew, this is
Hmm.
same." Though I never liked the Howard Stern stuff like that. Like
Yeah, no, I mean,
he's throwing baloney at strippers. It's like, okay.
yeah, no, it's yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I was surprised when he got the gig to do late night 20 years ago.
Hmm.
I was like, the Man Show guy. But I like him. I
Uh-huh.
like him a lot other than the Man guy. So, and people seem to like what he's done with the Oscars. So,
Yeah,
but my list says no.
yeah, no, not a fan.
Sorry, Hollyweird. Not a
S-
fan. I like the
So,
way you said that. You said not a fan, and then you gave out that vibe of let's move on.
yeah, yeah,
Not
it's
a
like
fan.
I don't
Let's
need to
move
go
on.
into particulars. I don't
Why
watch
not?
them. You know, that's what it comes
Let's
down
hear some
to.
particulars.
I can't even give you particulars.
Mm.
But
All right. Hey, you like what you like.
yeah. Speaking of that, I found a segue. So I'm continuing this deep dive with the Kinks, and
Nice.
I gotta say, the '70s, and I think I saw this quoted in one of the reviews. The '70s were not kind to the Kinks. Do
Well,
you
yes
agree?
and no.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree in part, but then when you kind of really break it apart, they still had, I don't know, six amazing albums, six great albums. If we
No,
started Muswell Hillbillies,
you're saying they had six great albums in the '70s?
I'm throwing that out there. Let's see. I mean,
Well, yeah, let's
well,
see.
Lola,
No, we did Lola. I included that in the last group.
but it is the '70s.
It's 1970. You're right. Yes.
Like
But
Red
I included that in our last roundup because I consider that the peak period.
yeah.
And then I
But if
think,
we're going to talk about how they're shitty or not shitty in the '70s, we do have to include that, right?
all right, I'll let you have your little point there.
Thank you, man.
So that'll give the Kinks exactly two good albums in the '70s.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Wow.
clunkers here, man.
Okay.
You gotta do some defending here.
Okay. So
First
other
up,
than you liked
first,
Lola, so that's
first
one. What's the
yeah,
other one you liked?
I like Muswell Hillbillies.
Great album.
Okay. But in between those two albums, we have something called Percy.
Yeah, but that's not a real album.
Yeah, it's a soundtrack to a movie about a penis transplant.
Right. Nobody counts that.
But no, that's the beginning of what I say is the downfall of the Kinks in the 70s. These concept albums. What was the fixation with
Well,
concept albums? I mean, it's just relentless.
well, I've wondered that, and
Preservation Act 1, Preservation Act 2, soap
well,
opera,
but those are different. Like,
schoolboys in disgrace. I mean, those
you're sprinting past a lot of great albums.
where are
All
the
right,
great albums?
Muswell Hillbillies,
Well, yeah,
great
I
album.
just said that. Yeah.
And as we try to pinpoint where Ray kind of got a little bit nuts with the burlesque or concept stuff, like even for shows. I think if we listen to the song "Alcohol" on Muswell Hillbillies, I think it uh, does a little foreshadowing there. You see him performing it; it's kind of got that thing to it. But Muswell Hillbillies, amazing. Everybody's a star. That's a great album.
Everybody's in showbiz. Well,
Showbiz. Right.
it's a double. You
Well,
know,
not really, because the second side's
well, it's half live and half new material.
right. It's half a real album, and then I don't know why they did that, but
Yeah. Well, I think it was a double album. I think the live album was one album, and then you
right,
had
but not a real double
studio
album.
stuff. I mean, Celluloid Heroes is on there.
Right.
So it's got that one great song, but you know, uh,
Unreal Reality, Sitting in My Hotel, Supersonic Rocket Ship,
Supersonic Rocket Ship's all right.
even Hot Potatoes. It's a great song. But plus, this album, after Muswell Hillbillies had a little country flavor to it, this one adds some sort of New Orleans sounds to it. It's really exciting. Got to give it credit for that. So that's another great album in my book.
All right, I'll give it 3 stars at
All
most.
right. Now
That's not a great album. That's a passable album.
the problem comes with Preservation Act 1.
Yeah.
Because I think I mentioned this last week. The first half is fantastic. One of my favorite halves of any Kinks record. Then you flip it over.
Well, what are the songs? I mean, Sweet Lady Genevieve. That's your
Daylight, Sweet Lady Genevieve, Where Are They Now? One of the Survivors. Even the auditory, it's not even a real song, but a morning song opens up the album. It's an almost flawless first half.
I disagree.
Then you flip it over, and that's when the real not great part of the 70s for Ray Davies begins. The Preservation Act 2, and then you get into soap opera and schoolboys, and they're all just total concept, crappy, vaudeville, not good albums. But then by the time Sleepwalker and Misfits he's getting back around to writing real songs. And then, as you know, once like Low Budget and stuff like that kicks, he's kind of back on the rails. Have I made a good case?
No, I have to disagree. I mean,
All of it?
yeah. I mean, Preservation Act, you can tell there's some sort of show involved. So he's singing these songs, and I'm like, what? You know, I'm trying to follow along, and nothing's really standing out.
Even Sweet Lady Genevieve?
Yeah, nothing stood out for me on that album. And then Preservation Act 2 gets worse.
Terrible album.
The soap opera album's got a guy snoring, right? Is that the one with somebody snoring on it?
Yeah.
You know, who wants to listen to that, you know?
Yeah.
Is this when, him and Dave started fighting?
No, they fought the whole time.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
But
Dave went along with them.
I could see this as being like a legitimate reason. Like, I did pick up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, people have been recommending the Dave Davies. He's got a couple books, right? This
Couple
is, I
books,
guess, the first one, Kink.
yeah. Yeah, it was
So
really pushing the one last year.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
read Kink. I'm
but
doing a little run of music books.
yeah,
I'm deep into this.
Miles Davis.
Miles.
Sorry.
I've heard so many good things about this book. I finally picked it up, and it's great. I mean, he leans a little heavy on a particular word, uh, and the word isn't mother scratcher; it's a different word. But
The Father Scratcher.
and I recently saw Lady Sings the Blues, so I got the book. I'm going to check that out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a book. Who's that by?
Well, it's by Billie Holiday. It's a little controversial. People say,
Oh, she wrote it. Oh,
yeah, she wrote it with
I didn't know she wrote it.
she has a writer with her.
Yeah. Thanks
But
for using that insulting tone, though. I appreciate that.
people have criticized it, saying it's not very truthful or whatever. But
Did you
it's
see the movie?
certainly. What's that?
Did you see the movie?
I saw the movie, yeah. Uh, and the movie is it's one of these movies where it could have been good, but like every scene just goes too long. Richard Pryor's in it. Richard Pryor plays her piano player.
Mm-hmm.
And this came out like in 72, I think.
Yeah.
So he was hot as hell. So it's every scene Richard Pryor's in, you could see like they purposely just stretched the scenes out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's like let's get Diana Ross and Richard Pryor together in as many scenes as we can in this movie.
Right.
And like I said, there's some good stuff in it, but it's just like every scene is too long. So, it's worth seeing, but I found it somewhat frustrating at times, the length
Yeah.
of the movie.
Well, you Gen Zers, you can't. Everything's got to be fast, fast. I get it.
Listen, I'm not one of these guys, but you watch this movie, and I think you'll pick up on what I'm saying here.
Okay, if it's too slow for us, then yeah, that's wow. Um,
But
so yeah, Preservation Act 2, so and then soap opera, whatever, terrible.
yeah, and then I get to the Arista records, and I thought there was going to be this big uptick, the way you're describing, but I don't see it. I don't see the big uptick. Yeah, they're not concept albums,
Right.
but Sleepwalker, Misfits, and even Low Budget, which it looks like I don't even have the album. I must I must have traded it in at some point. Low Budget had a couple hits, legitimate hits on it.
Yeah.
Uh Sleepwalker, let's look at the
Well,
song.
Sleepwalker and Misfits, I feel like if you took half of one and half of the other, that'd be a great album. Each of them has about a half of really great stuff.
I mean, I
And then the rest,
remember jukebox music from Sleepwalker
yeah,
vaguely on the radio when it came out. That was familiar. And then Misfits has what's the song on there?
Misfits is a great. Permanent Waves is a great song.
Yeah, Misfits was weird. They do a cover of the Bad Company song, Rock and Roll Fantasy. Right?
No,
Yeah, that's a Bad Company song, isn't it?
no, it's not a Bad Company song. It's the same title, but no.
It's the same song. They just do a different, like, slowed down version.
You want to make a bet?
Yeah.
How much you want to bet? Give me a number.
The chorus is the same.
I didn't ask if what the chorus if it was the same. I said who wrote it. But
Paul,
yeah,
Paul
the shame about
Rogers.
those albums is, again, if you half of them really good, the rest is still better than the stuff that came before that terrible run. So you can at least see, okay, he's getting back to like, all right, let's just,
I thought maybe that was the urging of Dave Davies, who, like I said, I think that might be a source of a lot of contention. Is like Ray Davies wanting to do these dumb concept albums, and Dave is like, just give me some songs where I can, do these solos.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you think so, but to be honest, I've never read or heard anything where they argued musically
No.
with them, it was always personal. Like they just hated each other. But I never have really heard of any big disagreements or fights in the studio. I think, and people could correct me. Dave went along fine with whatever, he might have started making fun of them once, he saw they kind of stunk. But I've never heard anything because it would make sense what you're saying. You would think so.
Yeah.
But
they were getting pressure from the record companies too. They're
Yeah.
like, what are these records you're giving us?
But I've never actually heard or read of him really bitching about it one way or the other. So unlike Tommy Shaw on Sticks is Behind the Music.
But anyway, so yeah, after this run of albums, I'm almost like, wow, you're sneering at the Rolling Stones in the 80s, and I'm thinking, well, the Kinks are done in the 70s. I mean,
they had
they're
a huge hit in
done.
the 80s.
They're done in the 70s, man. This was disappointing.
They had a couple of big hits in the 80s.
The Kinks?
Yes.
Well, so did Rolling Stones. But their albums, I'm thinking, are going to hold up more. I'm already struggling with these albums in the 70s.
I'm sorry. Name a Rolling Stone song from the 80s that will last forever, as iconically in the public eye, in terms of something that pops up whenever anybody plays a pastiche of the 80s more than Come Dancing.
Start Me Up.
All right, that's up there.
I mean, it's been played to death.
Is that the 80s or 70s?
Yeah, that's the 80s. That's, that's Tattoo You.
So that's 1-1. And I'm sorry, but one of those songs is very stupid.
Say what it is. It's still in
I don't think they
heavy
have
rotation.
I don't think they have any more, iconic hits of the 80s than the Kinks do. And at least they have Better Things, Living on a Thin Line.
I'm disagreeing strongly now. After I mean, these are the first time I've heard some of these records. I avoided these records because, in the record guides that I get, they all said that they're not good records, and I have to agree. That's I was on a low budget myself, so I didn't want to buy bad records. So
nobody's saying they're what they were. But let's not pretend that the Stones shit they were putting out is any better.
I'm saying that the Stones were stronger in the 70s than the Kinks. And I suspect it's going to continue into the 80s because, Come Dancing is one song.
I think you'd have to give the 70s to the Stones. That's fine. Or I'm okay with it anyway. 80s, it's the exact same. Seems to be the exact same so far. Come Dancing, Start Me Up.
Well, I will see. I mean, it's what albums? What are the strong albums by the Kinks in the 80s?
I just think that from now until the Earth collapses in the sun, whenever there's the 1980s or something, that's going to be a song that gets played. I promise you, it will be.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great song, but we're comparing output for the decade. Not just
and so far they're
two
equal.
songs.
Here's what I advise Kinks people. Obviously, listen to everything. If you don't want to listen to everything, listen to everything through the first side of Preservation Act 1, and then skip to Sleepwalker. If you don't want to do that, just blast through the beginning until first half of Preservation Act 1, and then go back to the beginning and just skip all the rest. That's fine. You seem angry about all this.
I didn't know how bad it was going to be. I mean, I listened to the last 3 albums today. Sleepwalker, Misfits, and Low Budget, one after the other. And it was a struggle. I mean,
they're not great, but like I said, it's a bummer they couldn't mush those two together.
What's the song? I guess it's on Misfits, Out of the Wardrobe. Was that supposed to be like a follow-up to Lola? It's about a cross-dresser. I'm like, really? They're trying to just repeat themselves? Yeah, it was just
Got bills to pay, Mike.
I just felt like, oh brother, you know. And yeah, I was hoping, you know, I thought to change to a different label, maybe the label was giving some pressure. Hey, enough with the concept albums. But yeah, they're not concept albums, but the
I
songs
think
aren't on the
I
same
think
level.
I think they get a little boost from me once they get out of the concept album thing.
Uh,
Might be a little bit of halo effect,
but that's what
but
I was hoping. I went in with high hopes and
right now
listening to those
you're
albums.
depressing me.
I mean,
Look,
do you still listen to them regularly?
of course,
Yeah, those albums, yeah.
up through. I still haven't started with like low budget, like in terms of a deep dive.
Uh,
Uh, I've
but so are you going to listen to? You haven't listened to anything post low budget?
not like heavily like I'd
No.
expect to for this, but
Uh-huh.
uh, I mean, but that's about the end of it for me. Like I know they were together until '96. I kind of end it at Come Dancing, probably.
Hmm.
Like
And the
most
thing
people.
is, I saw him for the first time when low budget came out.
Mhm.
That's 79. And then the live shows were fantastic. I mean, they're great showmen, and they're playing the hits and stuff. And I think I'm just coming to the conclusion that which I sort of already was that I consider the Kinks like say Tom Petty or Bob Seger, like
No.
more of like a singles. They're a singles act to me. I like the singles because yeah, they have some great records in the '60s. But if I just want to hear the Kinks right now, I'm going to put on a greatest hits and just get the hits. You're
Well,
shaking your head. What
I
when you reach for the Kinks, what do you reach for first? When you're in the mood for the Kinks, what are you grabbing?
maybe Face to Face.
Face to face. All right.
Anything up through the first half of Preservation Act, I'm going to listen to over and over and over and over.
Uh-huh. All right.
And then I'll dip into Misfits and Sleepwalker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, um, I must respectfully disagree. Yeah, I know Patty sold a million
Mm-hmm.
gazillion more records.
Oh, I didn't
You
mean to
cannot
bring this up
compare.
again. I didn't mean to
You cannot
bring
compare
bring this whole thing up again.
his songwriting to Ray Davies.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
No, his stuff is more straightforward. I mean, yeah, it's not.
yeah, there's
He's not
not a lot of
doing.
creativity there. Whereas you take a Ray Davies, you take Shangri-La, you get
Mm-hmm.
from point A to point Z there, and it's a whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Petty is
Yeah.
petty. Don't
Yeah,
make
I
me.
mean, Petty. Yeah, he's not a storyteller like Ray
I don't
Davies.
like you lumping Ray Davies in with Tom Petty.
Not well as far as singles go. I just want to hear the singles. I like the singles more than the albums.
I think you're wrong. I think there's 100 Kink songs that aren't singles that you would love.
I'm into we're gonna listen to the '80s next week. The '70s was a major disappointment though for me.
I disagree.
I thought I was gonna
Well,
find I thought I was gonna find some gems, you know, uh, turn up some gems I didn't know about, put them into a playlist. I couldn't even begin to make a '70s playlist for the Kinks.
really?
Yeah,
Come on now.
come on now.
I know you're
I would
upset.
struggle. I would
I know you're
struggle.
upset because the Stones had all their turds and you looked like a fool with your 54 song playlist. I know you're upset, but now I feel like
I'm
come on,
saying
you're over
that
the
that
top there.
playlist is better than the complete '70s output of the Kinks. I mean,
My mind is
when are you gonna play Black Messiah? You play that one? Is that in heavy rotation for you?
no, no, that's all
That's a
not in heavy
bizarre
rotation.
song.
I'm sorry, when are you going to play track number 21 in that shitty playlist of yours, the Stones playlist?
I put it in I don't listen to it straightforward. I put it in mix.
I am shocked.
I surprise myself.
I am shocked. I am shocked.
Wow. We tend to disagree, so we disagreed again. We did it again. We did it again.
I don't try to tickle my funny bone and be buddies again by singing by singing like a funny cartoon bear.
It's that music hall stuff that's sort of the bane of the Kinks' existence. That vaudeville music that I guess they
Well,
loved
maybe if you
when
snobby,
they
snotty
loved it
people
when
from
they were
Jersey hadn't
growing
like,
up. I started reading the Dave Davies book, and
maybe
you
he
know
hadn't banned them from America like you
they
did.
had these older sisters who loved that music hall music, and so that's what they're fond of, and it creeps into their music. But to me, it's like they should have stuck to the rock and roll,
Right. Should have
instead
just
of
stuck with the same old shit that everybody else is cranking out. You're right.
not the
Should have
same
done
old
what the
shit.
Stones did. Just
You
crank
know,
out,
they
try to
did some
copy what everybody else did.
great albums in the '60s, and then like they ran out of gas or something. I mean, I did see an illusion. I mean, have you read a book by Ray Davies? Is there a book by him you've read, or?
I tried to read that one he put out 25 years ago, but it's like a weird mix of fact and fiction.
Oh, really?
Just weird.
Okay.
I couldn't get into it. But
Now, I mean, you know a little bit about them. I mean, I think one of them said that he had some mental health issues even
yeah,
uh,
he's always been a severely,
in the '70s.
well, that was part of his part of the reason he got into doing all that vaudeville stuff is because
Uh-huh.
he was such an introvert
Hmm.
that I think that if he could turn himself into a character on stage, then he could kind of let loose and have fun and
Uh-huh.
play. Whereas normally he'd be a lot more inside of himself. And he had a breakdown in the '60s at some point. He's just a super sensitive guy, I think.
Hmm.
As opposed to younger brother who was just Mr. Lad about town, swinging his dick and hitting everything, having a blast, kind of thing.
I mean, it's surprising to me because I saw them twice, and I saw them in Asbury Park, and I saw them at a college in South Jersey. And to me, he's like one of the ultimate frontmen ever.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear that he's kind of shy is kind of shocking to me
Yeah.
because I mean, he's a showman. I mean, he was doing the I guess it's on the Schoolboy. Is it on the Schoolboys or with the Boatman song, the Harry Belafonte?
Oh God.
That used to be. But that he was doing that was like a thing that he would do throughout the show, and it was funny, He just
Yeah.
get the whole crowd going, Dale, Dale, That was
Yeah.
like that was his little gimmick between songs, and it worked.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah. I think he because he's such a severe introvert, I think doing that, oh, I'm a character, helped him with all that. So
Uh-huh.
interesting guy.
Yeah,
Uh
no, I guess has he put out a couple books or?
Not really. Like I said before, I've seen a couple, but there's not a real, I haven't run into a super definitive great Kinks book. Like the Beatles, you can't swing a dead rat without hitting 10 of them.
Mhm.
And plenty of them are great. Whereas the Kinks, I've just never really found one that
Mhm.
so far anyway. If anybody has any recommendations, or as Mike calls them, Rex, let us know in the
Yeah.
comments. So, well, I'm sorry I ruined your week with the
No,
70s.
it was worth investigating.
But can you challenge me to put together a short playlist that could please you and maybe turn your
Yeah, I challenge you to a Pink '70s playlist.
short? I'm going to keep it 12 songs.
Oh, well, that's not saying much for their output in the
Oh, how
'70s.
big do you want it?
Just put the best of the '70s
I'm going to
Kinks
do the
output.
exact number you did in your Stones
You
one.
can, yeah, feel
All
free,
right.
feel free.
Oh, Mike,
No limits, no limits.
you are about to look so stupid.
Only the good stuff.
Hold on, same
The
number. I'm
the
typing
ki
this.
the Kinks in the '70s.
Mike's shitty Stones list.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Michael.
Well, okay, the
You are
challenge is
setting
on.
yourself up to
The
look
cha
pretty
I'm
stupid.
looking forward to how you get some cuts from soap opera that doesn't have a guy snoring in the middle of it, or there's some lady on some of those songs.
Well, unlike you with
Who's that
your
lady? You like those songs with the lady comes in and
no, but unlike you with I'm going to pick every song on the album, I'm going to be a little more discretionary.
all right, I'm I
Oh
want to
my!
see what you can do
You
with
have
it. Yeah.
walked into my trap.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
I am the spider. I put my little web there by the cookies.
Here's your
Mike comes and takes. Oh, look, there's cookies. Take them. Boom in my web.
here's
Oh
your
my!
chance to prove me wrong.
Oh yeah, I just turn things around for
I
myself.
welcome the challenge.
Speaking of books, though, look what did just show up. The coffee table book for Get Back just showed up. I haven't unwrapped it yet because I'm waiting on my coffee table.
So wait a second. You ordered that from Apple when the documentary came out and it's just showing up.
No, I ordered it 2 days ago.
Okay.
Why would
No, I'm alluding to the single purchase. Remember, it took forever for you to get it. You were the last person to get the single.
Oh, right. Right.
Because you ordered it from Apple.
From Apple, like an
Yeah.
idiot. Now,
Yeah.
this time I did the right thing. I went right through Amazon. Gave Bezos all my money.
What is that book, though? It's just a picture book.
Yeah, I mean,
You're gonna do an
I
unwrapping for us. Do the unwrapping.
All right, I'll do the. All right, I was saving it for when I had my table. But I'll
for
do
the
the.
Beatles community.
I assume it's like the anthology, just a huge coffee table. Here we go. Beatles Get Back. Oh my God. They printed all the live blogging I did of it.
Yeah.
I am flattered. Yeah, just kind of a lot of pictures, a lot of quotes, mostly pictures. I mean, it looks like absolute total bullshit waste of
Let me guess. Let me guess the price tag on that little number.
This looks like a total waste of my fucking money.
$50. $50.
I'm sure it was.
Uh-huh.
I can't find the price, but whatever. I mean,
you're a completist.
I've got the doc memorized in my brain. So yeah, this will sit on my fucking coffee table. That was a great purchase. So
yeah.
All right.
Well, anyway, we are here to gather, talk about salads.
We're here together.
Are you even like eating a dish, or is I'm on my? Is this a solo journey I'm on now, or did you have a salad, or?
Yes, I had a salad.
Oh, you did. What'd you have?
The Southwest salad downstairs.
Oh,
add a little chicken.
Okay, nice. All right. They have a name that's what they call it, the Southwest chicken.
Yeah, but I picked out
Southwest
all the chilies. So I don't know why I got that. So I kind of picked out all the Southwest stuff. So in the end, yeah. Just
so what did you throw out?
There were chilies. I think just chilies.
Oh,
there was avocado. Well, yeah, I ended up with lettuce, tomatoes, chicken. Which I could have just got. I don't know why. I patted myself on the back for trying the Southwest.
So you're gonna try all these different salads to boil it down.
No.
Chicken,
oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Tomato.
There were tortilla chips. Tortilla strips.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All I can say is it was perfectly delightful. Good salad.
Might as well just put on a cowboy hat while you were eating that.
The real thing.
Did you take a siesta afterwards?
Ooh, doggy.
No, I tried something. This is I guess a local. Yeah, I mean, people are going to scoff, but I'm like I said, it's baby steps. You know, I'm coming out of the Chinese takeout. I'm trying to get away from that. Just see whether I'll feel better. I've been going to this pizza place, Emilio's, and so far so good with the salads I've gotten. So I'm like, all right, they've got a little salad here called Emilio's salad. I'm like,
sounds sexy.
This is their house special. So I'm like, this has got to be good. $14, not bad.
Hold on, you don't think $14 for a salad is bad?
Well, it's huge. I mean, you've seen those pictures I put up, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I didn't eat the whole thing. I mean, the salad's enormous, so I get 2 meals out of it. This salad has leafy lettuce. None of your iceberg lettuce in this one. This is classy.
Oh, thank you for that thinly veiled insult.
No, but I'm just saying, the leafy lettuce has this reputation that iceberg lettuce does not have.
I'm still fighting, Mike.
But here's where my salad people are going to scoff, and they'll
Let them
say
scoff.
they're gonna scoff. Mike got
Scoff
a sa-
them.
Mike got a salad that had provolone and salami in it.
What's the scoff about?
Well, yeah. So it's literally a Jersey Mike's sub in a tub, and they call it Emilio's salad. But it was good. I mean, very generous with the provolone. You'll see the photo. It's like they use cubes of provolone. Um, Salami wasn't too as generous, so I didn't feel so bad like that. I had a salad with salami in it. But like I said, I ate half of it. It was appetizing. The came with an Italian dressing. I tried to be easy with that. Um, so yeah, I did not feel uh logy the way I feel after eating Chinese takeout most of the time.
Did you say Logie?
Yeah, just like, you just like lethargic, you know, just like yeah, you're full, but you don't feel so great.
Yeah.
You've had that
Right.
experience on this journey, right?
Now with egg foo young, because it's all protein. I mean, I hate
Uh-huh.
to bring it back to the fact that egg foo young is incredible, but here we are.
Yeah. I thought we were going to have a Curb coincidence. Not this week, the week before. Did you see Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Of course I did.
where they visited the Chinese restaurant?
And what happened? What's the coincidence?
Well, they were having Chinese food, and I was like, it would have been nice if they had some egg foo young while they were there, but
How about at the all you can eat buffet? Leon was that?
no, that was this week.
The previous week.
The previous week with Richard Lewis, who, listen, God bless him, rest in peace, but he did not look good in that episode.
He looked rough. I mean,
I
he's looked
mean,
rough for a couple of years.
yeah, but oh my God, it's like, listen, I know they're friends, he wanted to have him involved, but I mean, can't you be a little more protective of your friend if you're putting him in a show and he looks like he's at death's door? I mean, he looked bad, right? I'm not embellishing here, right?
You look bad, but I'm sure you don't think that's what Richard Lewis wanted to be doing at that moment.
No, I know he wasn't forced to do it,
Right.
but
Could
I don't
they
know
could they have done
if
could they done a little better job with the makeup? I
I don't
think
even think it was the makeup. It was just the way he was kind of like staring, like he wasn't blinking. It seemed like at times, there was something just about in his eyes that I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of frightening. I mean, sure, that episode came right after he passed, so it was kind of bad timing. And maybe I'm reading too much into this. People can chew me out in the comments if they want, but I don't know if I try to on this show just to make it about us now.
Amen, bro.
I'm trying to get you to fix your hair. If you had that long if you had that long distance death stare going, I think I might suggest we get back to audio only. So just a warning. I'm looking out for you, Greg.
Yeah, but what if I said, "Hey, Mike, I got to be me. I still want to be here. I still want to be in the arena."
All right. Well, I will try to dissuade you,
from wanting to be in the arena.
and I'll remind you of the last episodes by Richard Lewis. But
no, he hasn't looked great for years.
yeah,
I mean, particularly bad recently. But well, how do you like the season so far, anyway?
It's hit or miss. That show's gotten to be hit or miss for me lately. I mean, the early seasons were pretty consistently good. Now it's like, the billboard thing, that was kind of like a little.
That was funny.
It was funny, but it was like they kept going with it. It was like, it's like, all right,
Well, now he's gone from recycling old Seinfeld plots to recycling old Curb plots. Like this is the third time now. I think it was last week's episode where he bungles himself into a gay couple's wedding or child care, rearing.
Yeah,
Idea.
that's a
How many
recurring thing.
times we got
Yeah,
to go through there were a
yeah,
couple. There's two or three already where it's like
right.
not only recycling Seinfeld stuff, but recycling Curb. I seem to spend a lot of time of these new episodes yelling at the screen. There's still some laugh out loud stuff. Thank
Uh-huh.
you, Leon.
Hmm.
And Tracy Ullman. She is batting 1,000. She
Yeah,
needs
but
to.
it looks like she's done now. They got
Yeah,
rid of
but
her.
please bring her back. You know what I
Yeah.
want? And I love Larry. I could watch Larry David on the TV all day. Can we get Leon and Tracy Ullman like stuck in an elevator somewhere and have them half an hour?
Yeah, they didn't really have any scenes together, right? I mean, it's
Yeah, a
kind of like,
couple last season they had a couple that yell at each other because he'd be making a puzzle on the breakfast table or whatever. So I don't know. I'm yelling and I'm frustrated about Curb like I am the last couple of seasons, but then at the end I'll be the one curled up crying like a baby that it's over. So
yeah.
I think I brought it up a couple weeks ago, and now it doesn't seem as funny. Like, is Larry going to do the thing where they throw him in jail and his cellmates are Kramer and George and Jerry and Elaine's across the way?
Well, I do like the running gag they've been using where like people keep reminding him that he wasn't involved with Seinfeld for a
Yeah,
couple seasons, but he came back for the for the finale.
they specifically mentioned that this week.
They did it a couple times, I think,
Yeah,
already. So, and then they don't even say anything. He just makes a face.
yeah,
And that's all you have to do, though. That's it. It's like subtle, not like the billboard
yeah.
gags.
So he goes crazy. That's son is too. Is that too much?
Well, now you're getting all sun. You're going to disappear in the glare. You're going to move over there. That window's better than the other window.
Jesus, I look like I've been doing the Iditarod. I haven't been outside my apartment in 4 days. I look like I've been doing the Iditarod. I don't know.
You can still work. You're working from home. What's going on?
I took the last couple of days off
Oh yeah,
to set up my apartment
staycation.
with my one couch. Anyway, sorry.
Do you hire some movers?
It took about 20 minutes. I got to get my shit from storage in a couple of weeks. That'll be more fun, but
You're gonna get your albums?
Yep.
Really? Wow. Okay.
My books, my albums.
You got a stereo?
No.
No. Okay. So
Yes, I have a stereo.
okay. I just
Wow.
I
It's
just
one of those-
assumed when you were living in the warehouse that Larry had the
We call it a
audio
loft building.
gear. The loft building.
I left my stereo in that building. I had one of those classic one with the receiver, then the CD player, the tape player, then the record player. Remember that everybody had to have the five components.
But they were all built in.
I bought them separate. This is back
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what you had to do. Yeah, that's what
This
you
was
had
in
to
the
do.
early 90s.
Right.
And I think I still have that. I think I left it there. Now I have one of those. They're nice looking like vintage boxes. It's the record player, but it's got all the modern gadgets hidden in it. It's really cool. I like that.
You can hook up your phone to it and
yeah, USB.
but no CD player.
Yeah, CD player.
Oh, there is a
Got
CD player.
A tape.
Oh yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it's got Bluetooth, whatever.
Okay. All right.
I got to hook up some real speakers to it. Well, so what was I going to say about Curb?
I don't know.
Oh, well, he spends so much time over the last couple of seasons desperately trying to put that magic pinpoint mic drop on the end of each season. So I feel like for the end of the whole series, he's really he must be thinking he's got to do something super bananas that connects everything back together the way he likes it. And right now, I joked about it weeks ago, but I don't think he's in jail with the Seinfeld gang is off the table now.
I just hope he doesn't end with Richard's funeral. I hope he doesn't go there. Maybe he tried to talk him. I mean, they talked about his will. You know, they
Well,
drop
it,
some they
well,
drop some
it
hints.
was already in the can before he died.
I know, but I'm saying they could have done an episode about him having passed, right?
What did they do with Funkhauser? Did they even mention after he had died?
No, I think he died between seasons. Yeah, I don't remember actually.
And I mean, I know they didn't make a big deal out of it because I was wondering what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they shot this whole season before Richard Lewis actually
Right.
died.
But I'm saying Richard Lewis had sort of a dark humor. I
Oh,
could
you say
almost I could almost see him, you know,
literally in the casket?
literally in the casket. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, that's a good one. And may I give you the ultimate compliment? I put that idea right up alongside my own.
And what was yours again?
The one I just fucking told you.
It was all
Where
mixed up.
he ends up going to prison, and his cellmates are Jerry and
Oh,
George.
I see. Okay.
Kramer.
Well,
But
that's
yours
like
is
a
good too.
Bob Newhart ending, though.
Yeah. Well, no, because it wouldn't be a fantasy, but you're right. It would tie up two shows.
Yeah.
I like yours too. The finale is Richard Lewis's funeral, played by Richard Lewis right
Right.
before he. Ooh, Mike,
That would blow people away,
scratching me
right?
where I itch.
That would blow people away. But
But you're
Richard
right.
Lewis, I could see Richard
I feel like it's
Lewis.
going to have to be something big like that.
I think Richard Lewis would be game for that, you know, of all
100%.
people, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
I'm giving that one equal odds with my own.
should I check Vegas odds, whether that's going to be are they doing odds on?
Are they doing that?
I don't know.
I bet they are.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I bet they are. I don't even know where to look up those things.
What's going to happen on the Curb finale? How many episodes do they have left?
They've done either 5 or 6.
Yeah.
What do they do? Do they do 10 or 12?
I don't know.
Shit, that's a good question.
We'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. Why is everything you're saying today making me laugh?
I think it's going down. I think they used to do 12 episodes, then it started going down to 10.
Oh, here we go. They don't make things like they used to. No, it's been 10 literally 10 every season.
10. Okay, so a couple more episodes. Well, how about this? If that's what the episode is,
4 more episodes.
If that is the finale, will you start calling me the genius?
Whoa. Yes, to be honest. No, not only that, but I will be jealous that I didn't think of it. That's a great one. But I have some bad news for you. On the Wikipedia page, they have the titles of the last 4 episodes.
Oh.
The last one is called No Lessons Learned.
Okay.
Which, if you remember, what was the big thesis of Seinfeld? No learning, no lessons,
right?
No hugs, no lessons, no what. That to me seems like code, not even code, shortcut for Seinfeld. Am I crazy for thinking that?
I think you have to have it in the mix. It's a possibility. They've been, like you said, they've been dropping hints through the whole series. So I would not be surprised if that happens either, because there've been allusions to the finale of Seinfeld, more than one. So it could be a setup.
It could, but I think 120 seconds ago, I was 50-50, yours and mine. But now that I've seen what the title for the finale
the title,
I got to boost mine up a little bit. I don't want to be a jerk, Mike. I don't want to do this to you, in front of your fans, your loved ones.
Yeah.
My nephew, Patrick. I got to give mine a little boost because of it.
But what if that lesson, the lesson learned is compassion? Because that's his whole thing. He lacks compassion.
It would be the single greatest misuse of a character in history, right? As in terms of going against his own character,
right? But maybe Richard's death makes him. It's sort of that's the moment where he becomes a compassionate human being.
But so you're saying no lessons learned is ironic.
No lessons learned.
no lessons learned sounds like that is exactly the Seinfeld ethos.
Yeah. No, that you're right. It's leaning towards he's going to be the same.
Like, this brings me no pleasure watching you fall like this. I'm
Well,
not happy, but I have to give myself mine a little boost. That's all.
well, if that last episode is as bad as the last Seinfeld episode, then you can come back and say, Mike, they should have went your way.
Hey, I like your idea too.
I'll take that as high praise.
Thank you.
I don't have a lot of items for food in the news.
Did we get any scuttleback from the Jerry show?
I don't know. I haven't checked over there for the comments. Has there been feedback? I mean, Jerry had a good time. We all had a good time.
I'm upset about my audio, but yeah, we definitely had a good time. You usually have your ear to the street with these things. That's all.
No, Jerry's a class act, so he's doing his thing, and it was great to be on there, and we should do it again. It was fun.
Yeah.
Now can we talk about a woman who cooked some salmon in her dishwasher? We've reached the stage with social media that people are just looking for attention, and I mean, it's great. Some people are getting some recognition for doing some funny things, doing their own thing, but then you have the people are going too far with it, and every week there's a story, and you've tried. I thought we had some real some real positive. Didn't you post some receipts of your overpriced? That's like the thing. Every week we're getting every week we're getting a story of somebody who went to Five Guys, somebody who went.
I tried to doctor up a receipt from McDonald's. Guys,
I like that.
I bought a Coca-Cola and small fries. It's $198. This has to stop.
I missed that. When did you post that?
I tried to do it. I couldn't do it. Couldn't doctor it up good enough, so I didn't do it. But it was going to be great.
Speaking of McDonald's receipt, I had that receipt from the last time I went to McDonald's. They left my Big Mac out of the bag.
All right.
Guess who rolled through the drive-through the other evening?
Sweet vindication.
It couldn't have gone smoother.
Wow.
So I roll up to the window, and I explained the situation. I said,
did you ask for the guy?
I did. And it was the guy. What are the odds of me getting the guy? I'm like, is Kyle working tonight?
He's Kyle?
Like, Kyle. Well, there you go. I mean, I didn't.
Guy at your McDonald's name is Kyle?
Yeah, come on. It's the younger generation, That's a younger generation. And so yeah, I was talking to Kyle. He's like, yeah, I remember that. Like, so, but here's the kicker though, right? So I roll up. Of course, I didn't just get my Big Mac, my free Big Mac. I got a quarter pounder with cheese and fries, the whole deal. But yeah, I handed him.
Kyle's going to take care of you.
Yeah, no, I gave him the receipt. They said just as long as you have that receipt. It's been sitting in my car for months now, right?
Wow.
Since I did this. So I got to give kudos to Kyle at my local McDonald's. But here's the anticlimax. I get home and I start eating this thing. It's like, I don't know if it's because of the medication I'm on or whatever. All I'm tasting is salt. It's like, these are the saltiest burgers I've ever had.
I don't think it's the medication. I think it's
the salt is just like, I was on a salt high.
Wait, do you think Kyle did that on purpose? Is he sticking it to you?
But here's the thing.
Did you lose visual contact with him while this was being made?
No, I even gave him a big thumbs up. I saw him in the background when I rolled through. I'm like, hey, Kyle, thumbs up,
You think when he saw you, he was the guy?
He's like, see, that guy's all right. I thought he was a nutcase when he was blowing the horn when we closed.
Oh, now that he's back 6 weeks later, waving his receipt in the air. Oh, I don't think he's crazy at all.
That was the king of the drive-through that night. But here's the thing. While I'm eating the Big Mac, of course, I'm thinking about your problems with the Big Mac and the structural integrity and the whole nine. Here's an idea for you. If you ever eat another Big Mac, I probably won't eat a Big Mac ever again after that experience. But it was that bad. But here's the thing. I think I conquered the structural integrity thing. What happens is when you start eating the Big Mac, everything starts bulging out the back, like you said. You know, the top, the special sauce, the burger. So then what you have to do on the second bite, you've got to rotate to where the stuff started bulging. So you get this thing going where you're eating from the bulge. And you just do that back and forth.
Yeah, but that's not a solution, Mike.
Well,
that's not a real solution.
Well,
that's just you making the best of
it's
a
a
bad
workaround.
situation.
A workaround. You want to call it a workaround?
Well, it's like me saying how you beat a flat tire is to steer into the tire and just let it take you wherever it goes, into the cornfield. You know what I mean?
I don't know what that's all about.
You're doing the work for them.
Uh-huh.
They need to be get. I know it's been 50 years. They need to get serious about the structural integrity.
Yeah.
Because it's grim.
Well, it's a workaround.
The idea that Mike Lisk, a nobody in this world, feels the need to put McDonald's on his back. Feels the need to put McDonald's on his back and drag them to do the right thing. That is nonsense.
Okay. All right. I'm never going back after
that. You're doing the heavy lifting for them. Shame on you, McDonald's. Fix the goddamn Big Mac.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'll ever have a Big Mac again.
I'm sorry, it was disappointing. Was the quarter pounder salty or just the Big Mac?
Yeah, even the quarter pounder, which I've raved about in the past, is like it's a decent burger. It tasted like salt to me. You know, I don't know if I'm hypersensitive to salt now or what's going on, but it was just the saltiest meat I've ever had.
That is. What do we need to do to get Kyle employee of the month at your establishment?
I should go in there one night.
Is he a young kid?
You know what? He didn't have the he had like a sort of a dress shirt type thing on. So he may actually be a manager. I'm thinking he might be the night manager. You know? So
is he a teenager?
Yeah, but all the managers are teenagers at McDonald's. No, I'd say he was like early 20s.
Okay.
A little more mature.
Because it's easy. We like to shit on younger people. We see someone like Kyle stepping up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Let's take a minute.
Yeah.
Do the Yelp review or whatever. If you want to go see his manager, you say, "Hey, Kyle."
That's a good idea.
Let's point out when these youngsters do something good. You know who it makes me think of? Remember a Xmas Time post from 2007? You won't.
Forgive me if I don't remember that.
I'll repost it. I remember I was at Tops one time, the local, we'll call it a grocery store at the time in Williamsburg. And there was this kid bagging the groceries. He looked like he was like 8. And he was no nonsense. He was the best bagger.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Somebody called him Corey. I assume his name's Corey. And I went one time I saw him, and I guess he brought his little brother along to for him to, get him into what I guess maybe it was the family business, and
training.
Corey's bagging his groceries. He's giving little Corey side eye, like, that's not how you stack peas and bread. And this kid was dynamite.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened to him. I mean, I guess he's in his 20s now. Corey, if you're out there listening to this, you were an inspiration. I'll repost the story.
Yeah,
whenever any bagging situation pops up, always think of Corey.
Yeah, I've been hard on the younger generation. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the Yelp for that McDonald's. Put in a good word for Kyle.
Yeah.
I remember one of the Chinese takeout places in Bayonne. It was a family operation, and they even had like at one point like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old boy sort of taking orders and ringing. Well, yeah, he didn't take the money, but he'd take your order. And he, again, not real nice kid. So yeah, shout out to all these kids starting early in the working world. You know,
Corey.
Kyle. Maybe I can get Kyle as a guest on the show.
And I'll see if I can hunt down Corey.
But anyway,
speaking of shout outs and hunting down, who I heard from for the first time in months? Donnie Pizza Sauce.
pizza sauce. Uh-huh.
Maybe it's something I do. Remember, he'd been listening for months. I give him a shout out and then he disappears. Just like this family.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll
Just like
finish
this
your
family
story.
with the jack-o'-lanterns.
Uh-huh.
I say something nice and boom. Totally ruins it.
Uh-huh.
This is with me and trying to be nice, it ruins it.
I tried to reach out to a couple of our mutual friends recently on Facebook. I had a nice response from. Well, I said, hey, you should come on the show. I'll have a few laughs.
Oh, Mike, that sounds desperate.
No, it's not desperate. I mean, we're 80 shows in, right?
You think Johnny Carson ever did that?
These are our mutual friends. But Ope had a nice reply, and we had a little back and forth. But G, no response. She wants nothing to do. She wants nothing to do with the two of us.
She will at some point.
No, she does not want to be involved with this thing.
When she does, she's going to come in like a fireball.
She couldn't even give me a sort of graceful, sorry, I'm busy, which would have been perfect.
Give you?
No, well, we had a little back and forth about music or something. I brought up something from the past, and he got a kick out of it. But
speaking of West Group from the past, you know what I saw for the first time in 100 years? Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
Wasn't the girl who showed her tinters in the first episode or two, didn't she work with y'all at West Group?
Yeah, I've heard that story, and I didn't know her that well. I mean, I think I saw her on the PATH train one day, and after somebody told me she was on that show, and I'm like, really? She's on that show? But like you said, it's a very brief, maybe degrading performance. I don't know. I mean, that show.
I'm sure it got paused a lot back in 2008 or whatever it was on the VCRs.
Yeah, she was a very pretty young lady. I don't know. I haven't followed her career since that. I mean, have you followed her career since then? Has she gotten other gigs or?
No, she wasn't that good. She just kind of showed her tits. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Look her up. Maybe you can look her up and we'll hunt. You can.
I don't remember her name. She didn't work with me. She wasn't even on my side of the building. I didn't really know her at all.
Did she work with Open Will? Maybe.
Well, I think she was in that area over where they worked. They were on the other side of the building, so they may have known her more than I did. I didn't work with her.
That's a show I haven't seen in 10 years. Boy, that was. Remember that?
It was a good show.
Yeah. It went on like 4 or 5 seasons. Like I do remember that. Like I didn't see the final season until like a couple years later because I didn't even realize they had done it. Like it was one of those where like, oh shit, okay. It's like he was
that's the one where he's the pitcher, right? But they made a tragic error. They were hiding it through the entire show. They never really showed him throwing. But right towards the end, they throw him throwing a baseball, and you could tell he did not know how to throw a baseball.
I mean, he had 4 years to prepare for that.
But check it out. I don't know if you're rewatching it, but do you remember that?
No, I think I'll do a little bit of a rewatch. It's been a while, and I saw the first 2 or 3, and they're just as funny as I remember them. So
I'm like, somebody should have.
Maybe I'll skip to the end.
Yeah,
I remember the first season.
It was towards the end. They kept it away from the cameras through pretty much the whole season because they don't want to make the. I mean, I'm not saying that he needs to be a major league pitcher to do the character. It was a funny show.
Maybe I'll skip ahead because I feel like I remember everything for the first season.
But I thought that was a little slip that like, oh, wait a second. Not that a comedy needs to have credibility as far as sports athletics goes, but when I saw it, I was just like, oh,
I wonder
Yeah,
if it's the.
somebody should have caught that and said, "Hey, you don't look like a baseball player in that scene."
Well, I
You
wonder if
know,
it's like the Armageddon prop conundrum. Do you want? Wait, no. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Or it's a movie. It's like, do you want actors who can play football or football players who can try to act?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, do you want somebody who can throw the baseball, but maybe can't do Kenny Powers like he can? Or do
Yeah.
you want somebody, vice versa? I think it's more important that he's Kenny Powers.
Oh no. And
Yeah.
and like I said, you could tell they were clearly conscious that they didn't have all these scenes where he's pitching, and they kind of just kept it off the mound and that. But I
What
think there was
movie?
just like one little slip where, it's like, oh, why'd you leave that in there? You
Yeah.
sort of blew it.
At that point, why?
You've been avoiding it through the entire series, and then now we see a scene where it's clear that he never played baseball before.
Oh,
You
and then Armageddon, the thing is it easier to teach astronauts how to drill for oil or to teach oil drillers how to be astronauts? That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I don't normally bring up Armageddon, but yeah, you're right. Like at that point, they'd gone that far without doing it. Why?
Yeah. It just seemed like a slip.
Yeah, but we'll look her name up and get YouTube back.
But as a former Little League pitcher,
Here we go.
I was like, come on, you know. I had better form when I was 12,
Burn, boy.
So
Bring up
anyway.
that 2004 Williamsburg Softball League Cy Young Award a couple times, and somebody thinks highly of himself.
Well, yeah, underhand and overhand are two different things.
Only
Anyway,
up here, Mike.
yeah.
Only up here.
Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't have any other items. How about yourself?
No, it's just been a hectic last couple days moving, trying to get my shit together. So I'm excited. Hopefully I'll hit that treadmill sooner than later. I'll figure out this lighting situation for next week.
Yeah, something's got to be done there. Yeah, it's like staring into the sun.
Yeah, so
I just want to say that TCM had the Time Machine was on. I just read the book, and
read
so
the
now,
book.
the movie was on with a very young Yvette Mimieux. Do you know her? I thought she was in a Bond movie, but I don't think she was.
I've
I don't
never
know.
I was never a Bond guy. I never really.
No,
Yeah.
but she's very pretty. She's very young in this movie. I think she was also in Beach Blanket Bingo, if that's up your alley.
Ooh, now you're talking.
But
Annette Funicello, yes.
she was the sort of the love interest in the future. They took liberties with the book, of course. Since H.G. Wells did not know anything about World War I and World War II when he wrote the book,
Fair enough.
They had a couple pit stops in the Time Machine movie where he stops off during World War I, and then he makes a pit stop during World War II as well.
Does he stop for the formation of X for what?
No. But then it gets back to the book, and he goes way into the future, and he's he sort of gets back on track with the book, although they muck around with the. I mean, they make the Morlocks really look like monsters, so it turns into a monster movie. The people who were living underground.
I can't remember. Did you really like that book, or?
I liked it. Yeah. I mean, it's you have to think of what it was doing at the time, It's considered like one of the earliest science fiction books. They didn't do my favorite chapter in the book is towards the end where he goes way into the future, the end of the world. And that chapter was really interesting, I thought. They didn't have that. They
No
and it
spoilers.
had some giant crabs at the end of the book. There was no giant crabs in the movie.
I really like the Joseph Mitchell book I got from you. I mean, I read like the first 7 or 8 stories. They're great. You got to break them up because they're kind of the same. Like it's always
it's local New York stuff. Yeah.
And at some point, you end up in their converted living room / museum. But yeah, they're all fascinating. I've really loved
I saw you mentioning Joe Gould. I guess that's
Yeah.
one of the main stories in it, and
Yeah.
they made a movie about that.
I saw that. Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie. You saw the movie?
No, I saw that.
Oh,
No, I saw that they made it. Like every character, I think so far was famous enough, and some of them partly because of the book. Each and every one, like I said, I've only read 6 or 7, have their own Wikipedia page.
yeah. I mean, I read it straight through because I was enjoying it, but I can see just dipping in whenever you feel like it, because it's sort of old time New York stories.
Yeah, yeah, they're all great though. They're like,
I'm actually along with the Miles Davis book. I'm reading. I always liked Winesburg, Ohio. Sherwood Anderson. You read that?
not since college.
Okay, but you read it in college?
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people read it in college. It's a really good book, short, stories, really interesting take on small town American life. So I picked up I have the Library of America anthology, and it's got his other short story collections. So I started reading Triumph of the Egg,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really good. I think I'm going to read some more. Just keep going
Okay.
with this, and they're short. It's like you just dip in, dip out.
I picked this up. Fathers and Sons,
Okay,
Ivan Turgenev. Have you read that?
I read it. Yeah, I took a Russian literature class in college.
Okay,
So
because I was gonna say, I think this may be my first Russian novel since Crime and Punishment, which I read 15 years ago. Finally, I haven't. All of a sudden, it dawned on me I haven't read a lot.
uh,
So, what do you recommend?
that's a good one. I mean, who's the translator there? Is that the husband and wife team, or?
Richard Freeborn.
Okay.
He's good.
Yeah.
It's short. I
I
mean,
mean,
already I've run into the problem I mentioned before.
well, if you're gonna get into the big Russian books, they've got this husband and wife team that are like ripping through, doing the translations, and they're supposed to be really good. I mean,
Mhm.
I read when I did that. Yeah, it was around college age. I mean, I went sort of nuts with. I had to read The Idiot and Brothers Karamazov and Constance Garnett. She was like the big first sort of the translations of the Russian novels. She sort of had a monopoly on those, and people liked that. She did the Tolstoy big books as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, some people say the translators make a big difference.
Mhm.
Uh, Gogol, have you ever read
Sure,
his
yeah.
stuff? He's funny.
I think Crime and Punishment is the only one I've read,
Oh, okay.
which is what I realized. I was like, oh shit. And that's my top 3 books of all time. So it's like, well,
Well, I think Anna Karenina is better than that. I haven't read War and Peace. That's sort
better
of
than Crime and Punishment?
oh yeah, it's much better.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Tolstoy in general, y- Tolstoy in general is like he's more optimistic. So with Dostoevsky, yeah, it's his stuff is like really intense. It's like you have to be in the right frame of mind for his books. They're so intense. I mean, Crime and Punishment, it's kind of brutal, right? I mean, it's not a lot of light in that book.
No.
And so you have to be in the right frame of mind for that book. I haven't read it since I was young. But Anna Karenina, I read when I was older, and it's like you're getting a broader swath of humanity, and I would say that's my number one book.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought of that. Okay.
yeah,
All right,
and
well, if I love this, maybe I'll pop up on Anna Karenina.
I mean it's long. It's big. It takes a lot of time to read these books, but
Time's all I've got right now,
I
my friend.
thought that one is worth it, and I read the Constance Garnett translation of that one, and that's worthwhile.
All right.
But anyway,
Very nice.
my 2 cents.
Hey.
All right, man. Want to thank everybody for listening. Should I do a fortune?
Oh, yes.
I got them here. I might as well use them, right?
You got a box of them?
I got a bag of them. Uh huh. For the ASMR people, they like to hear the crinkle.
How you liking this sunlight art thing I'm doing over
Yeah,
here?
that's a very artistic shot.
Very artsy, right? I look like
Yeah.
Jesus.
For the people who watch
Right.
this and don't really want to stare at us through the whole thing. All right. Let's just rip this up.
I am the
Never
Lord.
forget a friend. Especially, this is pretty good. This is a this is a fortune for Bayonne.
Is it an actual fortune?
Well, no, it's just advice. Wise advice. Never forget a friend, especially if he owes you.
Whoa. Is that the first funny fortune?
It is. I think that is literally the first funny. They should be more like that.
Wow.
It only took us 80 some odd episodes to get to a funny fortune.
Wow. That and the fact that it's such a surprise to catch it. It's twice as funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, that is, like I said, this was a funny one.
Let's keep is Bazooka Joe doing them now? That'd be great. Yeah, if it's not
well,
gonna be a real fortune, at least make them funny.
we did kick around the idea of doing our own brand of egg foo what fortunes
I
because there
remember.
is this monopoly. It's it's this fortune company, but somebody slipped in a funny one.
Wow.
Is it funny on the back too? No, just
Well
lottery
done.
numbers. Oh wait. Oh, you have to go online to get a second fortune.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
How many people do that? Oh, I want to get another fortune. That was a funny one.
Yeah, let me guess. If you don't like that one, you can buy another one.
Yeah.
That's a great one, though. I like the
Yeah, the best yet.
best yet.
I'm glad I pulled it out at the last minute. And so I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Hit the subscribe button. We're still trying to get to 500.
Oh, how's the merch going?
Well, yeah, I didn't look this week yet, but yeah, there's been a couple items. Did you get your merch? You did a
I
didn't
did.
you? Yeah, look, everything look check out okay?
I don't know. It was for my nephew, and
Uh,
I don't know what he did with it. I don't know.
okay. Well, maybe
Took
an
it and launched
email,
it in
shoot
outer
him an
space.
email or a text and get a report. I want
I'm
to,
sure.
yeah,
I'm sure
well,
it's fine.
want to have a little quality control. I mean, I saw the mug. Somebody got the coffee mug. It looked great. So let us know if there's any problems.
Well, maybe I'll buy a mug. Why didn't I buy a mug? I'm gonna buy a mug.
I'll try and include the link in the description.
That'd be nice.
Hit the thumbs up button. You know what to do, people.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for listening. Do what Mike said with the likes and subscribes and merch and everything, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
The sun doesn't come into my house and just look at that.
I'm blinded.